No, just play. Today, I would like to ask all of you in the audience, for those who have never experienced stress, albeit from work, school, or even life, to please raise your hands now. Now for the rest of you in the audience, for those who have experienced stress, I would like to kindly ask you to look around the room and notice there is not even a single person with their hand raised. According to the ADAA, or the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, a non-profit organization set up for the prevention, treatment, and education of the public for mood disorders, that 3 out of 4 of you in the audience will have or have experienced their first episode of anxiety by the age of 22. Also, according to the ADAA, 8 out of every 10 individuals have reported that they deal with stress on a daily basis, and 1 out of 10 of each of these individuals has contemplated suicide from so. Most, if not all of us, deal with stress on a daily basis. Myself being a college student, I find this information very relevant and an acknowledgement for the public. Because of its relevance in all of our lives, and people close to me, including myself, I deal with these issues brought on by stress. I've researched the causes, progression, and issues brought on by stress. Many of us deal with these issues on an everyday basis, and it has become necessary to inform you of the issue that has led to several disorders and even death. Today, I would like to inform you about the increasing impact and effect it has on college students' academics by explaining its cause and progression, its widespread effects into the ability to pay attention and manage tasks, and its overall correlation with the student's academic performance. Knowing the origin of stress is fundamental for understanding how stress affects a student's academic performance. Stress is caused by time, pressure, and the life adjustments that college life may bring forth. According to Emily Driscoll of Fox Business, a subsector of the Fox Media Company, one of the major stressors of college life is the competitiveness it brings to college students. Just as these students struggle to maintain grades in order to gain scholarships and raise their GPA, it can bring forth stress and anxiety. Studying is not only a necessary task, but can itself become a stress inducer, as many students may overlook something, which can cause them to lower their grade and ultimately drop their GPA. With this competitiveness, students forget to give themselves breaks. This can lead to poor habits and even mindlessness while doing work. Being independent can also lead to disorganization in students' social life, or it can even be halted by a large workload and ill management preparation. Stress builds up in the gray area between our social life and our pursuit of educational endeavors. With stress, we find the ability to focus on work, although if we leave this unattended, it can soon overwhelm us one day. Through learning the dynamics and reasons for stress, can we dive deeper into understanding how stress affects their academics. Now that the origins of stress are understood, we can now assess how it affects the student's necessary ability to perform and manage tasks. Here we can see as the stress level increases, the performance level can increase at a peak performance, but also decrease if given too much. According to a study conducted by the Colorado Christian University in 2012, stress has been shown to affect the student's ability to concentrate. Stated in this study, while short-term stress does allow us to concentrate on small, uncomplicated tasks for a short amount of time, these benefits do not last for long. While undergoing stress, the body changes to compensate for any kind of unexpected challenges. The body has to go through psychological changes in order to manage the stress from these issues. The main reason of stress caused by the body is the unbalanced equilibrium within the mind, causing our respiratory rate, heart rate, and even blood pressure to rise. This change can cause damage to the psychology of the student if prolonged for far too much time. The changes that the body undergoes under stress causes the mind to lessen in its ability to concentrate. When dealing with severe stress for a long period of time, the mind loses its ability to manage tasks effectively. This feeling, only multiplied by the state of anxiety, can make the student feel as if the environment always deals with stressful situation, in which can be while the situation may not be harmful or even threatening to the student, anxiety caused by the stress-altered state is. The multiple demands that college student must face places a severe strain on the psyche, causing real ambiguity in the school. This can lead to mindlessness, forgetfulness, fatigue, headache, and even unwanted thoughts while doing essays or even doing that final important exam. Stress affects the student's academic performance through these devastating impacts. I'm sure many of you agree with these effects of stress, seeing as how many of you relate to these effects throughout your entire lives. Now that we know how stress is influential in our ability to concentrate, it is necessary for us to understand the correlation that stress has with their academic performance and standing. Stress has been shown to lead to sleep deprivation and as students focus less on their internal well-being and more on studying to obtain that academic edge. According to Health News, an organization dedicated to health professionals for sought out information to provide or enhance or explain wellness, stated that individuals with below the necessary amount of sleep have an average GPA of a 3.08, while those with an adequate amount of sleep have a GPA of a 3.27. Those who reported that they deal with substantial amounts of stress have an average GPA of a 2.72 according to Health News, while those without a substantial amount of stress have an average GPA of 3.3. This 0.6 difference can be the difference between a B and being on the Presidential Honors List for academic achievement. Stated by Dr. Ellinger of the University of Minnesota, the lead researcher and author of this study, the conventional wisdom is that the more you work, the more strain is placed on your academics. Most of the stress received from college surpasses the optimum level of stress for academic effectiveness, which can cause exhaustion or even breakdowns. The pressure of stress does allow us to concentrate, although these benefits do not last for long, and even in doing so, the student's GPA begins to lower. Anxiety caused by an overload of work is the number one stressor that affects a student's academic performance. With an increase in stress, there's an adverse effect on the student's GPA. Today we have learned the origins of stress, the influence it can have on the psychology of the student, and the negative effects that it has on the student's academic success. College students are currently the most stressed in any previous generation of college students, and this statement continues to grow and remain true with each passing year. The next time you feel overwhelmed or under pressure due to a large workload, understand that this is very normal. Although, do not let it get out of hand. Stress is not only harmful to you and your well-being, but also to you. The amount of stress is not what it's done for.